Hey everybody, this is Dominic DeAngelo of AdFreeShows.com. Today's date is February 20th. Monday, it's a Monday. But Tuesday, on Reels, at 10 p.m., we have MLW Underground. And this week, it's going to be the Billington Bulldogs taking on the FBI. But in their corner is going to be none other than Davey Boy Smith Jr., who joins me today on Ad Free Shows. Davey, thank you for joining me, man.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, Dom.
Yeah, so obviously, like when you watch the Billington Bulldogs, they're a relatively new team and stuff like that. But talk about what you've seen in them so far that really stands out to you, and what's their ceiling basically, or like where are their limitations and where can they grow?
Yeah, they're really coming along great, and they've had some good coaching under Marty Jones in the UK, and I've sort of taken them under my wing with the matches that they've been doing recently in MLW and Dungeon Wrestling. We just had a 6-man tag the other night, and they were victorious. So they're coming along. I think that just they're young, and all that they really need is they haven't quite filled out into their physiques yet because they're 19 and 21, and I think it's just a matter of time. Just keep working hard and just keep getting that experience, and naturally I think they'll fill out. So that's all that I can really say about them. Technically speaking, they're both very solid. Thomas is just like the original Thomas Billington.
Yeah.
It's almost eerie in some ways seeing him move in the ring. And Mark is more of a high flyer. He can do moonsaults and stuff. And, he needs to just put on a little, just keep training hard and keep pushing those weights. So they're both technically very good. And for how new that they are to the business, they're way ahead of the game. So I'm definitely glad to see that.
It's very neat to see him too. Like, not only have you and Natalia and Tyson have all carried on the legacy of the Hart family, but it's nice to see like Dynamite kind of get a little bit of traction too with that. And to your point, like Thomas, holy smokes, he looks and moves exactly like him. So it's pretty wild to see.
Yeah. Absolutely. They're coming along. Yeah.
Well, talk about your time. You've been away from MLW for a couple years, but now you're back in the mix, and it's with the new TV deal going here on Reels. How's it feel to kind of be back in the mode of MLW? Because when you were there, I was covering it during that time too, and in 2019, I hands down, I thought you were the Wrestler of the Year 2019. All the television matches that you had, the diverse opponents that you had, the diverse set of matches that you have. So how's it kind of feel to be back in MLW?
Well, it's great being back in MLW, and I always consider MLW my home. And, it's the first place that I kind of broke into the U.S. indie scene. Being a teenager, flying to Orlando from Calgary, doing my grade 12 chemistry homework on the airplane and studying for exams. And so, it's where I kind of started, and it's been great being back there. And I have a lot of input with my character and the opponents and matches that I'm able to have there. I think that Court and Mr. St. Laurent and the whole MLW production crew, they seem to have taken a real grasp and a very profound understanding on how to actually promote me, and a lot of places haven't, and how to make the best use of my talents. So I'm very grateful and fortunate to have that. And, we're red hot right now every Tuesday night on Reels, 10 p.m. Eastern time. And, there's a lot of amazing talent, like myself and the Billington Bulldogs and Davey Richards, Jacob Fatu, Alex Hammerstone, John Hannigan. There's a tremendous amount of talent, and everybody's pushing themselves and pushing each other to really put on some great performances and be, working towards being the top, one of the top wrestling companies in North America, and a lot of people are trying to get into Major League Wrestling as well now too. So I'm glad to see that they've made a kip up and a real good comeback since the pandemic. You know, that kind of put everybody down, all kind of companies of all sorts, and they've really come back from that in a good upswing. And I'm very excited about the future with MLW.
Well, you mentioned it, like the pandemic, like really did shut a whole lot of stuff down and kind of threw wrestling through a little bit of the works a little bit. But what did you kind of learn over the course of like the pandemic that like you kind of like not being able to wrestle as much and do all that stuff? Is there anything that you kind of learned about yourself as you moved on? Like, and we all went through that strange time period.
Well, just find ways how to not go nuts.
Right.
In lockdown, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, just it was not a good time, and I don't really know anybody that enjoyed that period of time. You know, it was isolation, and just you know, I just tried to work on bettering myself because you know it was really hard because there was no gyms open, and
yeah,
I had to take up, you know, maybe just doing stuff that, you know, learning Japanese and learning how to make sushi and, you know, reading a lot and, you know, just trying to make the time pass but not be totally, you know, I guess a total hobbit or, you know, not get cabin fever and all that sort of stuff. So I just slowly but surely, you know, things started to open back up again. And, you know, that was all I could do, and I worked a lot with a coach, an Egyptian wrestling coach down there privately in a gym, and we had to be really quiet about it and sanitize everything after. And, you know, we got to do a lot of gymnastics and stuff like that, but, you know, after a while, it just, you know, it's like, when are things going to open up? They finally did, so I just, you know, took on little tasks and, you know, oh, actually, I got my personal training certification too.
Oh, nice.
ISSA, yeah, and I was almost completed my dietary degree as well with that too. So I tried to be as productive as I could. You know, after a while, Netflix is just so much stuff you can watch on YouTube. So you just gotta do something. So,
you're right, man. You get stir crazy, dude.
Yeah.
It's doing all that stuff. Well, also too, you mentioned it a little bit how MLW gives you a little bit more creativity and stuff like that. And what I really like about it, even like seeing you do a promo this past week here, I love the way you deliver promos. You're just very matter of fact and direct, but you like have that intensity to it. Where did you kind of help? What kind of helped you find your voice a lot of ways when you're doing promos?
Oh yeah, sure, I can tell you that. I mean, people did just because of what they'd seen on WWE. I just never got a chance to talk about anything that I was really passionate about, and they never really gave me an opportunity. So, but Dusty Rhodes was the guy that taught me the art of the promo. I may not be able to cut a promo like CM Punk or John Cena, but that's not exactly my character either. So
right.
I can, you know, Dusty, the big thing that he taught me was that every promo has to have a good ending. And he told me to use, I don't know if you've seen my promos, but I can use my eyes very well.
Mm-hmm.
Like a psychopathic, kind of very serious, stone cold stare. You know, I'm a little bit of a psycho, but no, who isn't, right?
We all are.
Dusty taught me that, you know, silence is golden and duct tape is silver sometimes. And sometimes it's not exactly what you say, it's how you say it. And to be able to deliver stuff and use that intensity with eyes, or even if it's with your fists or punching it, and you know, you can be conversational about it, and you can also be, you know, there's different tempos to the promos, kind of like a match. So I'm able to, and you know, I cut some home run promos down in FCW under with Dusty's help, and I just was never able to show it on WWE for whatever reason. So I can't cut one good. It just depends on what the topic is, what the material is, and deliverance. And Dusty helped me a lot. I'm very thankful for that. And he used to tell me that I was one of his prodigies. I was like his baby. So I was from starting a promo from scratch to where we went, and then wasn't able to do much with WWE. That's not my fault. That was due to creative. So
right.
Glad to be able to have a voice in MLW, and I thought that my promos that I cut 2-3 years ago, leading up to that match with Jacob Fatu, were really awesome. Like the one I cut outside the ring in Tijuana, Mexico, where Rey Mysterio used to train and do little shows at.
Yeah.
Some of those promos were, those were really good. They were really intense, and solid home runs. And then, I was flying back from San Diego, and that's when we told that, the world was shutting down.
Yeah, I know.
We're just getting the ball rolling, and then that happened. So, but that is what it was. So.
Yep, but man, I like it. Even like the simplicity of like tap before you nap. I was like, that's a great line, and what a way to close it out with that too. It's like it just adds another feel to it all, and I think what you mentioned too, that you were doing a lot of reading over the pandemic. Is there any certain books that you like to read, or do you have a favorite author? Do you have a favorite genre that you kind of read, or what's up with that mostly?
Oh no, I would just actually when you're talking about that, like I got into reading a lot of mixed martial arts, martial artists, their books.
Yeah.
I got to read Ronda Rousey's, Chris Liebman's, Chuck Liddell's, Mike Tyson's actually. It's a long read, but it's definitely one I can recommend.
Oh, really? Okay.
The stories that guy has. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, jeez.
And his jail time and all that sort of stuff. And I mean, it's just crazy the amount of money, unfortunately, blew. Just reading about it was like, my gosh. But that was his life. So, but I got into reading a lot of that. Then the Book of Five Rings, Golden Yamato Musashi, and then I got into reading a lot about studying with SOS therapy with my friend Todd Swain, who that works on a lot of breathing techniques for people's health and for calming yourself down, and a lot of stuff like that. So that was pretty much it. Those were a lot of the stuff that I got through. So, and Ronda Rousey's book was great too. Great.
Oh, nice. I'll have to check that one out too. Her and Mike Tyson. I'm pretty big into like sports biographies and stuff like that, and so those are definitely on my list. Then a book that I did read was about Calgary wrestling, Pain and Passion with Heath McCoy, and yeah, and I tell you what, it's just like the fascinating story just behind Stu and the growth of Stampede Wrestling and how that all came to be. Is there some wild stories that really stand out to you that you heard from whether it was your uncles or your dad or Stu himself or anything like that stand out to you?
Oh, I mean, there was tons. I have quite a few stories, but a lot of them are from ribs being pulled on
right.
Some of the trainees, and some of these guys that showed up to Bruce's camp. I don't. It's almost like Owen or someone from up above sent these guys as just to entertain us. Some of these characters, I don't know where they come from, and then I don't know where they ever went to either. None of them have ever reappeared on social media. It's like they just flew off to space somewhere again. I don't know, but I got tons of stories about all that, and a lot of great things. A lot of the training down there was, it's a lot of it is it's not exactly. I mean, the destination is always fulfilling, but it's always the journey that takes you there that you'll have the best memories. I can say that winning the WWE Tag Team Championships live on Raw was a great moment, but the journey there and a lot of the fun memories I had at FCW training with everybody, and some of the funny road trips and driving a great Cali around. Just it's fun and good memories. So it's always the journey. It's not always the destination that's the most fulfilling. So
Absolutely. There's so much like that you've done too, from, working with MLW, but also going to New Japan and working over there. And it's really just, yeah, you're right. There's so much different things that go on in wrestling, and it's so many wild characters. It's just, and crossing paths with everybody. So
Yeah, for sure.
what's do you get, personality wise, strictly from a personality standpoint, do you get compared to any of your like relatives in the Hart family, or does anybody like have made note about like, man, you act a lot like this person or anything?
Oh yeah, sure. A lot of people have told me that I sound, or I'm starting to sound a lot like Brett, like just talking.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
In promos and just talking conversationally. So that's I take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
And my uncle Ross as well. He's a very stubborn but yet proper, very knowledgeable about wrestling. Get compared to them a lot, and then also my uncles Owen and Dean. I've gotten compared to a lot with their sense of humor, and I inherited the impersonation.
Oh, did you?
Being able to disguise my voice as other people. So that made for a lot of exciting prank phone calls and stuff over the years. My Uncle Dean, he was the master at it. He actually had two people go to court over some sort of disagreement. Business one and they had the tape recording, and the judge said, "No, I have to say this is your voice," and he goes, "No, this is not my voice." Before the days of caller ID and stuff like that, so they actually went to court. So that's just to show you how good my Uncle Dean was. With that, I never really got to know him. I was too young, and then he passed away due to kidney issues. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, there would be those four.
Who's who's one of your best impersonations that you can do? I won't put you on the spot to do it.
No, I could do. Can do my Uncle Bruce pretty well. Can do John Laurinaitis, Johnny Ace, Arn Anderson, Ricky Steamboat, Mike Rotundo. A lot of the WWE agents, because we had to listen to them for matches and stuff, and then Mike, he had a habit of repeating himself a lot. Yeah. Same stuff every week. So we just, I got into that, and then there was a wrestling promoter named Derek Starlight out here who was, he had a puppet show, and he also was trying to get into promoting wrestling. He had a big native Indian reservation, and he had stiffed a bunch of guys on pay at one point. Mm-hmm. So whatever, and then I started prank calling a bunch of the wrestlers as Derek, and kind of mouthing off to them. And he almost got in a lot of trouble for that. Just saying that, like, telling one of the wrestlers, Juggernaut, that he actually owed me money because he broke a table and then spilled a bunch of blood. And he's going, "Derek, well, you told me to bleed. You told me to leg drop Red Thunder through the table on the outside. No. You owe me $50 plus tax for the table you broke, and I can't pay you because you just didn't draw money. You're a heel. But the Indians want to support their own people, And man, they got pissed. They found out it was me.
Oh, that's good stuff.
They couldn't get mad. They said they were going to get me back. Never did.
Never did.
No. So, but yeah, that's those guys would be. I was kind of mastered them.
Hell yeah, man, I'm envious because like I can impersonate some people, but not a whole lot. So that's good stuff.
Yeah.
I'll let you go with this.
Yeah.
So one of my buddies, I think, interviewed you a while ago, and he asked you about your fashion styles, and I think he said that you were inspired by classy Freddie Blassie to kind of bring back the flair to a lot of things. Were you pretty influenced by Freddie Blassie in watching his personality and style?
I was. That was kind of a phase I went through. I still have his outfits. It just, I do it. When it's appropriate, or not appropriate, but depending on where I'm going with my character, because I like Freddie Blassie's promos a lot, and
Yeah.
I like this heel character that he did actually in Japan, working with Ricky Dozan. He was kind of the vampire type.
Yeah.
And and years later, I find out all this, kind of interesting information that Freddie and my grandfather Stu were really good friends, and then learning about him, and his wife was Japanese, which I think is cool, and he liked the Japanese culture, and so I still have his outfits. I just haven't. I go through different phases with my outfits, depending on where I am at character-wise, and it's just sometimes it is a little bit of a pain to travel with wearing that.
I can imagine.
And then you have to dry clean it. It's not like you just go to the coin laundry and then let it dry out or anything like that. So I did. I like Freddie's his character and his promos and everything, and his heel work in Japan. His facials were really good, and he was a great character. So yeah, certainly.
Oh man, yeah. I think that's what's really cool about it is when you go back. Way back too, and take from a lot of those people back then, because it's like anything. What's old is new again, basically. So that's good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Davey, anything else that you want to plug going on? Obviously, MLW Underground Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. on Reels channel. But anything else that you want to get over here?
Yeah, for sure. For the fans that want to follow me, definitely greatly appreciate it for the support. Follow me at Twitter, that's Davey Smith Jr., and that's at Davey Smith Jr. also for Instagram. And there's a link also in the bio for grapplers that are interested with BJJ Fanatics. I did a tutorial on the double wrist lock known as the Kimura in Judo and Jiu-Jitsu, and a lot of stuff that I've learned from Billy Robinson over my tenure with him. And a lot of great knowledge on there as well, and the link is on my bio. And yeah, you can also go to MLWshop.com for my latest Davey Smith Jr. t-shirt, and that's about it. And you can check me out every Tuesday night, 10 p.m. on MLW on Reels. And thank you very much for the time, Doc.
Yeah, Davey, it's been a pleasure, man. We'll catch you guys next time here on AdFreeShows.com. Thanks a lot.